away from the tomb. Second, out of all the crops, barley is known to be the first to mature. Yeshua is the first to mature in the resurrection. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 20. But now is Christ risen from the dead, and become the firstfruits of them that slept. Verse 23. But every man in his own order, Christ the firstfruits, afterward they that are Christ's at his coming. Yeshua literally fulfilled firstfruits, being the first to rise from the grave, the first to mature and be a wave offering of the harvest to come. And thirdly, when the first offering of barley is accepted by Yahweh, then this makes the rest of all the other crops acceptable too. Yeshua is the first offering to Yahweh, and thus he will then make all believers acceptable to Yahweh in the resurrection to come. Romans 11:16. For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy, and if the root be holy, so are the branches. So Yeshua is the first fruits of the resurrection, the afterlife. He has ascended to heaven and was acceptable as the first fruit wave offering to Yahweh. Now we are in the Messiah, and we, by faith, get to also be accepted by Yahweh our Elohim and inherit the resurrection into everlasting life.
Shalom. All praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Wakakadash. Shalom. Citations and honors to the real brothers, the warriors of the sword of the Spirit. In these last days, these last moments, lifting up the banner upon the high mountain, exalting the voice of Yahushai, and walking in the newness of the Spirit and the new covenant of the house of David. And I want to touch up on the video I just recently did about how children are our people's oppressors. And it's heavy because even though a man may look like an elder or an ancient one with gray hair and, they're old or whatever, right, the elderly, that doesn't mean they have the wisdom of the Lord. Because, let me read this. Wisdom Solomon 4:8 says, For honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by number of years. So they have a saying, and they say, age is just a number, and it really is, especially in the spirit. And when Yahushua came on the scene, he was you would say in the truth, or, preaching his ministry, his doctrine, for only about 3 years. He wasn't in the truth for 20, 30, 40 years like you see guys now. So with a lot of these elderlies, they're corrupted. There's another quote from Batman, and it says, you either live long enough to see yourself become you either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. So a lot of guys, they've lived long, right, and they become villains. They become Two-Face. You see? The eye has been turned evil. Now, this word for oppress, it says to keep someone in subservience and hardship, especially by the unjust exercise of authority, abuse, persecute, maltreat, cause someone to feel distressed, anxious, or uncomfortable. And that's what the leaders of our people do. They oppress our people. They're just like Esau, and they're even worse because they make it seem like they love you, but they really fucking don't. So again, they keep someone in subservience. They keep you under them. They don't free you to Yahushai because they're not free. So misery loves company. So they're bound by their sins, and they want you just as bound in their sins like them. So they're especially by the unjust exercise of authority, and they don't have the authority of the Lord. They have the authority of man, of this world. That's the authority that they have. So you have guys, they might look on the outside, they look like they're old, they look like they're righteous, or they have a beard, they have fringes, they have 1,000 subscribers. Everyone talks about the double honor, they love them, but so do they to the false prophets. And in the mind, they're really very childish. They're very childish. And really, we're dealing with the children of Belial. That's what we're dealing with right now. So Satan, he comes in different forms, shapes, and sizes. And you have to remember that. He doesn't just come to you in you know, a beautiful, woman. Satan can come to you in many different ways, shapes, and forms. Even amongst the brethren. That's why there's no respecter of persons with the Lord. You have to rebuke, and you have to stand up against what's wrong, what's not of the will of the Lord. You can't desire things that be of men. Same thing with Peter. Even Yahushua rebuked him. He called him Satan. You see, so these are very serious times and moments that we're in. So with all these things happening and the world coming to an end, and because they think in their mind that their counsel is going to stand, that they're going to banish all the unvaccinated and the Omicron, all this bullshit. But really, that's just a sign in itself that the wicked, they're about to be destroyed. The markets the shelves are getting cleared. And see, you'll have these people in the world, they'll be in the spirit of like, well, I pray that they stock the food back up. Well, we're not in that spirit. We're not praying for that. We're praying for a few days. So when you pray for a few days, what consists of those kind of prayers, is that you're not going to want things to get better here. You're going to want it to get worse, because this is what we've been building ourselves up for, because it's all about the mind. If you have a strong mind, if you have a Lord dwelling in you and making you strong, because the scriptures say, he that hath clean hands shall hold on his way, and he shall be stronger and stronger. So by you having your hands clean and washing in the blood of a lamb and in the water of life, then what's going to happen is you're going to get stronger and stronger. What the world is getting weaker and weaker. The house of Saul's weaker and weaker. You see, but we have the dew of youth, of that power, that strength. You see, but guys, they're one, they're carnally old, and then two, they're spiritually immature. That's what we're dealing with, man. These are children of Belial. All right, this is and the children of Belial have always been around, and they're still around today. All right, Deuteronomy 13 and verse 12 says, if thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which the Lord thy God hath given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, the children of Belial. Now let's get this word for Belial. It basically goes into worthlessness. And if you're not fit for Yahushua's use, then you're worthless. So Yahushua, he's not using the multitudes. He's not using these camps. He's not. He has no use for them. He has no need for them. He only needs a few. See, the Lord said it's not a hard thing for the many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And that's the times we're in, brothers. We're in the time of victory. All right? So this word Belial is worthlessness, good for nothing, unprofitable, base fellow, wicked, ruin, destruction. See, so they're good for nothing. You see, worthlessness. They don't amount to nothing. They don't bring anything to the table. Now, when you go to the book of Job, it talks about how Job was talking about how those that were younger than him had him in derision. Job 30 and verse 5 says, and this is going to Esau, but since our people, right, the 2/3 of our nation, since they have made a covenant with Esau, they've made a covenant with hell and death, and they're at agreement with death. These certain scriptures go along with them because they're joined to this world. You see, so it goes for them too. See how we're joined and we agree with Yahushua, right? So we go with what the Lord goes with, you see? And with the prophecies that fits the Lord, like you shall be hated of all men, you shall be spoken evil of. People are gonna separate from your they're gonna separate from you. You see, Job 30 and 5. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. And it's heavy because when Yahushua comes back, which he is, he's very nigh, he's very close. Matter of fact, let me read this. James 5 and 8. James 5 and verse 8. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. So, I understand how it feels too. You have that spirit of like, oh, I just want to get out of here. And, I'm just sick and tired of it. But you can't lose patience. You have to let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be entire, wanting nothing. See, it has nothing to do with stockpiling on food and going to gun training, getting ammunition for the race wars. And see, that's the spirit that these false prophets are in, because they're gonna be in the midst of all that shit, but they're not gonna be delivered. So they're in that spirit of like FEMA camps and this, things of the world, which the world is perishing. That is facts. That is true. But see, those that are in Yahushua, we're being renewed every day. We're gonna be resurrected with him, and we're gonna be delivered. There's a difference, man. This is a whole different spirit that's being said here, contrary to elderlies and guys in camps. They're talking about things that are totally irrelevant, that are totally do not matter right now, and they're pushing you in a way. They're oppressing you, right? They're pushing you further and further and further away from Yahushua and closer towards this world. In the way of this world, gossip and shit, doubting, questioning, just talking shit. Job 30 and 8, it says, they were children of fools, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And what's heavy is that, being that they were viler than the earth, they were very disgusting. They're very dirty. The vilest men, let me get this. You gotta understand that the vilest men, they're exalted on every side, and especially in this truth, especially in these the synagogue. The vilest men, the most wicked, corrupted men are going to have the highest seats. The elder apostles, he's the head of all Israel, these kind of titles. The home of the truth, high priest has all that shit. They're all vile, all right? Psalms 12 and verse 8, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. Now this word vilest, let's get this. The word vilest is right. There it is. It says worthlessness again. So there's a whole lot of worthlessness going on, and that's being exalted, Let me get this word for worthlessness. Having no real value or use, right? So guys, they don't really have any value. They're not, how they'll have that saying, a high value male. They're not really high value males, and that's why they need to have the multitude. They need to have the big camp. They need guys and people around them, because they can't stand on their own. They can't stand on their own. The Lord's not holding them up. You see, so they use their multitudes and their big camps as a fucking crutch and as a cover up tactic of the Lord. But they're fucking what? They're vile. They're worthless. They have no real value. They have no use for the master. This word vile is extremely unpleasant, and that's what guys are. Let me get this in I believe Timothy. All right, master's use. 2 Timothy 2 and verse 21. All right, 20 says, 19, it says, oh man. Verse 18 says, who concern the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already. See, so guys, you have to really listen to what guys say. They'll say certain things that are heresies, but they'll act like it's of the truth. Like the Pharisees and elders in the Acts, they always had that saying of like, oh, all the prophets are dead. Yeah, because you murdered them all. You don't agree, and you don't really like the prophets. That's why in Matthew 23 it says, for they say, if we had been in the days of our fathers with the prophets, we wouldn't have killed the prophets. But they did, man. They did. See, with their mouth, they show much love. They show like they're with it, but really their heart's far from the Lord. Their mind is on different things. Their mind is vile. Is evil. Is dark. That's what we're up against. We're up against the rulers of the darkness of this world, man. Witches, necromancers, sorcerers, wizards. And there's many of these prophets of Baal, man. There's so many of them, man. It says, and overthrow the faith of some. Nevertheless, the foundation of God standeth sure. Having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his. And let everyone that nameth the name of Yahushai depart from iniquity. So you have to get away. And and if you don't, then you're going to be swallowed up with the famous, with Korah, with the world, with the wicked. You have to depart. You have to separate. You have to be okay with being alone. Look at the real prophets, man, of old. Has any of them ever called upon the Lord and were forsaken? None of them were. Elijah, when he had to flee the whole city because his life was being sought out to be destroyed by Ahab and Jezebel, the Lord didn't forsake him. He didn't just leave him out there, you know, in the wilderness. No, he had crows, man. He had birds feed him day and night, man. So these are the times we're coming in, and we have faith and we have full assurance and trust that the Lord is with us to deliver us, and so that our soul won't, be destroyed ultimately. Because, you know, when you look at the story of Job, you know, one of my favorite stories, the book of Job, he went through a lot, man. But see, the Lord never forsook him. Yahushua, he went through a lot, you see. But the Lord received him up again unto everlasting glory, you see, on the right hand of the Heavenly Father, forevermore. So we're going to go through similar things as well. So you have to depart from iniquity when you're naming the name of Yahushua. But in a great house, there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, you see, of this world. So the gold and silver is symbolic of the things that are hidden, you know, the things that really are true money, are true riches. And then the wood and earth is just things of the world that's going to be combustible and that's going to catch on fire and be destroyed in the second death. It says, in some to honor and some to dishonor. It says, if a man therefore purge himself from these. So when you go into purge, it means you're taking away whatever the Lord, the word purge, let me get it. And that's what we're doing. We're like you have the movie Purge, right? And basically like certain people are dying and shit. So you have to like kill certain parts of you, you know, cut off things that offend, so you'll enter into the kingdom. That word purge is to rid someone or something of an unwanted quality, condition, or feeling, right? So you see how heavy that is? Remove a group of people considered undesirable from an organization or place in an abrupt or violent way. To get rid of, remove, clear out. And so, Lord, he's getting rid of a lot of you guys that he has no use for. That's why the Lord's not speaking to a lot of guys. The Lord said in Revelation, he said, in Revelation 2, he said, he'll take the word out of your mouth because you're lukewarm, right? And also in Psalms, it said, take not thy Holy Spirit away from me. So the Lord, he's actually getting rid of, and he's taking his Holy Spirit away from a lot of guys because they're not worthy of it. They're hiding their talent in their bosom, you see. Revelation 3:16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. So when you get spewed out of the Lord's mouth, what does that mean? What this means is that you're no longer going to be speaking as the mouth of Yahushua. You're no longer be in the spirit of prophecy. You're no longer going to have the testimony of the Lord. But you're going to be speaking and following men blindly and shit. You're just going to be like, you're going to be out there, and it's going to be sad. It's going to be sick. You're going to be cast out in outer darkness, weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's what's happening. And it's heavy. This word lukewarm, it goes into only moderately warm, right? And you don't want your food like kind of warm, like you warm something up and like parts of it will be cold, some of it will be hot, and you'll get upset. You're like, man, I don't want it. Man, warm it up again. You want it hot. But check this out. It says lukewarm. It says showing little enthusiasm. See, so guys, they're showing a very low enthusiasm for the Lord. But when it comes to things of the world, oh, the FEMA camps, oh, Esau, oh, oh, the nigger woman, oh, woman, oh. When it comes to the things of the flesh, oh, they're so infatuated by it. Enthusiasm. Because they're of the world. That's why. And this word enthusiasm is religious fervor, but supposedly resulting directly from divine inspiration, typically speaking in tongues and wild. Right, so it's the spirit. It also goes into a thing that arouses feelings of intense and eager enjoyment. And this is what causes this enjoyment, is showing you, brothers, the way of the Lord, is showing you, brothers, where the real is, where the light is. So you can be in the light. You can be in the know. You won't be confused. You won't be lost. You won't be sick and confused and not, looking for an answer. You're going to have the answer. It says, if a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor. And humility goes before honor. Remember that. Sanctified and meet for the master's use and prepared unto every good work. That's right. And so I just want to close it out just to show you that, wisdom is not in length of time. You see? Honorable age is not in that which saith in length of time, nor that is measured by number of years. So what us few brothers are doing, we're actually fulfilling a long time in a short time, and that's why we're hated so much, because we're doing what these others couldn't do, or they even in their 20, 30 years, they still can't do it. They still can't acknowledge and understand that they're in a new covenant. That's heavy. John 8 and verse 54 says, Yahushua answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. And that's what guys are doing. They're honoring themselves. Double honor elders, double honor. And you see, we was under that fucking seduction at one point, that fucking spell. But we broke it. And now that we broke it, we're upset that we were even caught in that snare. And now we're helping the few other brothers to break that chain, that yoke of bondage, that oppression too, you see? It says, Yahushua answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. So guys, their double honor is nothing, man. They know all prophecy, they know this breakdown, they know this, they know the beast is in the white man, they know this, they know that. But they have no charity and they are nothing. It says in Corinthians, that's what's happening right now. It says, it is my Father that honoreth me, of whom ye say that he is your God. Right, but he really wasn't. They were just saying that out of their mouth. Just mouth service. They were fucking hypocrites. Yet ye have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say I know him not, I shall be a liar like unto you. But I know him and keep his sayings. You see how beautiful that is? So Yahushua was like, if I say I don't know him, I would be a liar like you. You see, because what they were saying, oh, I know him, but they didn't, and they were lying. They really didn't know the Lord. That's why they didn't know Yahushua. But with Yahushua, he said, and if I should say I know him not, I shall be a liar like unto you, right? Because the Lord, he really knew the Father. Just like we know the Lord. We know who we're serving. We know exactly what we're saying. The Lord said, let me get this in Ecclesiastes. We're gonna drop doctrine exact, man. Not, oh, I guess, I hope to be the luck. I hope, I guess, I don't know.
I said easy, big fella.
And we understand that a lot of you reprobates listen to us, but the Lord, he showed us the perfect example. He said he raises the light, the sun upon the good and the evil. So we're doing the same thing. We're fulfilling everything. And it's beautiful. The Lord said, do not sinners, love those that love them. Also, love your enemies so you'll be the children of the God of heaven. So that's what we are. We're not children of Belial and, the children that oppress them, these immature, corrupted leaders. Ecclesiastes 16:25, I will show forth doctrine in weight, right? Heavy. The heavier matters is the doctrine, the judgment, mercy, faith. I will show forth doctrine in weight. Has nothing to do with, the doctrine of elder apostle, this one and on down. And. No, it's the doctrine of Yahushua, man. It's what he taught. The Lord said, go out and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son. That's what it's all about, man. It says, and declare his knowledge exactly. You see, exactly. When something's exact, it means it's facts, precisely accurate, without discrepancy. Used as a reply to confirm or agree with what has just been said, right? So that's what's happening. John 8 and verse 56, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. And that day was with Isaac. Abraham had Isaac. Then said the Jews unto him, thou art not yet 50 years old. Look at that, man. You see that? Let me read that again. See, they're carnal. They're carnal, man. See, they're looking at it like, oh, what's your date of birth? When were you born? Oh, I'm older than you. Oh, I'm over you. I know more than you. That's how people of the world and these elders of the world think too. Even guys in the truth. That's how they think. They think carnally, But the prophecy says how that babes shall lead them. Babes shall lead them. So the Lord, he thanked the Father that he didn't reveal it to the wise and prudent and the proud and the old, but he revealed it to babes, the young ones. It says, then said the Jews unto him, thou art not yet 50 years old, and how hast thou seen Abraham? Yahushua said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. So Yahushua is letting it be known that even before Abraham was even born or he was even created, Yahushua was, man. This is that spirit. It says, but then took they, so let's see what these Jews did, you see. Then took they up stones to cast at him, but Yahushua hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by. So we want to know what's heavy about Yahushua going through the midst of them is that Yahushua is not in the midst of these multitudes, man, not in the midst of these synagogues and camps. So the reason how he was able to hide himself and go out through the temple, going through the midst of them, and pass by without them noticing him or killing him, was that it was like he disappeared, like he camouflaged, like he just, you know what I'm saying? Because already, right, the Lord is not in the midst of them. The Lord said, where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name and his spirit, he's in the midst of. But they wasn't gathered in the Lord. They're not going to be gathered right now in these last days. So the Lord is in the midst of them. He's not there. The Lord's not there. You see? It's like the Lord was never there. It's heavy, bro. Susanna 1:52. So when they were put asunder one from another, and it's heavy because I was looking at it earlier, but there's another quote, and it's from Sun Tzu. He wrote a book, The Art of War, and basically the quote goes into separate. Right here. It says, if his forces are united, separate them. It says, if sovereign and subject are in accord, put division between them. Attack him where he is unprepared, appear where you are not expected, right? So the Lord, he's dividing. There was a division because of Yahushua, and that's what we're doing. We're rightfully dividing the word of truth. And as we're doing this, we're dividing the wicked. We're separating the wicked from each other. So they can't hold the lie. Because like the brother said this morning, he said, in order to tell a lie, you have to know some of the truth to not say the truth, you see? It says, so when they were put asunder one from another, see, that's what Daniel did. He separated them so they couldn't they couldn't say the same lie and act like it was truth anymore. It says, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou that art waxen old in wickedness, now thy sins which thou hast committed aforetime are come to light. And the Lord said, there's nothing hidden that shall not come to light. So even with Yahushua, like the feast of the Passover, you know, his brother was like, well, why don't you just go openly? You know, even Yahushua was revealed, you know. Even we are being revealed, the chosen, the election that have obtained it. But what's happening to the rest of everybody else? They're blind. They can't see what we're seeing. And if you can't see what we see through the darkness and through these evil times, then you're not going to be able to explain what we're seeing like we're explaining it and breaking it down. You see? You got to have the eye salve. Susanna 1:53, for thou hast pronounced false judgment, and hast condemned the innocent, hast let the guilty go free. Albeit the Lord saith, the innocent and righteous shalt thou not slay. And they got judged. The angel of the Lord destroyed them. So birth of King. Now I'm probably just gonna leave it right there. Yeah, let me close off. I'll close off on this. Matter of fact,
Hey, you Louis, turn that shit up.
Ecclesiastes 8:6, because to every purpose there is a time and judgment. You see, so you have to understand that the time is not approaching. We're in it, and what's happening is judgment's being set, and we're speaking it, and we're bringing the execution. He's bringing the angels. He's sending the word to destroy the wicked. It says, therefore the misery of man is great upon him. You see that word great again. So guys, misery loves company, and you are the company that you keep. So you have to like really separate yourself and be with those that are also separate, that have the glory like you do, that have the glory of the Lord, not of the flesh or your camp or what you know or you. It's not about us, it's about the Lord. John 17:24, Father, I will that they also whom thou hast given me be with me where I am, that they may behold my glory which thou hast given me, for thou lovest me before the foundation of the world. O righteous Father, the world hath not known thee, but I have known thee, and these have known that thou hast sent me. You see, we know that Yahushua was sent, and we also know that us few brothers have been sent by the Lord to fulfill, to complete, and to finish the finishing touches. John 17, because when Yahushua went on that cross and he gave up the spirit, he said it is finished. It was finished back then, you see, but these are just little touches that the Lord is using us to touch on. It says, and I have declared unto them thy name, and I will declare it, that the love wherewith thou hast loved me may be in them, and I in them. All praises, glory, honor, and fear, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua HaKadosh, above all unto the wicked, and the unjust, and the unrighteous. Shalom, blessings, and strength unto the righteous, the bride, the faithful, and the sincere. Shalom.